Welcome to Hearth by Jace. My name is Jace Maximus, and I wanted to make a little introductory episode before we actually dive into the meat of what I'm trying to do. And I guess you can really say there are a lot of places on the internet where people tell you who they've become, but to be honest with you, this isn't one of them. I don't really have everything figured out, and I'm not sure if I ever will. What I do have are questions that have followed me around for years. Questions about identity, peace, and why certain seasons of your life leave a mark on you long after they're actually over. Those questions are ultimately why Hearth exists. When I was trying to figure out what this space should be, I kept coming back to the same thing. I wasn't interested in building another channel where somebody talks at you like they already got it worked out. There are plenty of spaces for certainty on the internet. I found myself a lot more drawn to curiosity, because curiosity has a way of keeping you honest. The moment you think you figured everything out for yourself, you probably stop paying attention. Life has a way of proving that right, and sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. The name Hearth felt right because for most of history, the heart is where people actually gather after the day was done. It wasn't the busiest or loudest part of a home. It was where conversations happened, where stories got told, where silence wasn't something people felt the need to escape. It just belonged there. I kept thinking about that while I was building this, because the world has gotten incredibly good at keeping our attention pointed somewhere else. There was always another notification, another opinion, and another reason to just keep moving. I wonder sometimes what we stop hearing when we're surrounded by that much noise. I don't think this series is about finding perfect answers. It's about learning to ask better questions. Ones I've already asked myself, and ones I hope you sit with too. Not because I expect us to land in the same place, but because I think there's real value in search itself. Some of the biggest shifts in my own life didn't start with certainty. They started with a question I couldn't keep ignoring. You probably hear me talk about peace throughout this series. Not because I've mastered it, but honestly because I spent a lot of time completely misunderstanding it. For a long time, I thought peace was something I've waited for, or something that just waited for me somewhere down the road. Something you earn after enough hard work. Something that showed up once life finally became manageable. Then life got quieter, and instead of feeling relief, I realized that peace can just genuinely feel unfamiliar when you spent years learning to function inside chaos. And that realization stuck with me, and it still does. You also hear me talk about masculinity, though not in the way you might expect. I'm not interested in adding another voice telling men how to be men. What I'm trying to do is, I'm more so curious about what happens underneath all of it. What experiences actually shape us? What beliefs we can carry around without realizing it? Which part of ourselves we've mistaken for permanent just because they've been there for so long? Those questions matter to me. Not as some type of debate, but something that shows up in real life experiences. There will be stories here too. Some of them will be true, some of them will be fiction, but the interesting thing about fiction is that they have a way to reveal something honest about us. A character could carry a fear we've never said out loud. A conversation between two strangers can reflect something we've been quietly feeling for years. That's the point of Hearth stories. Not to entertain just for the sake of it, but to explore the same emotional territory from a different angle. Because sometimes we understand ourselves more clearly through somebody else's experience rather than our own. Beyond that, there'll be poetry, essays, fragments of thought, conversations, and moments where I just let the camera sit with something for a while, and it all belongs here. Because it's all a part of the same search. The search for a life that feels intentional rather than something that just kind of happens to you. One thing I genuinely hope never changes in this pace. The internet moves fast, and everything on it is competing for another second of your attention. I don't want Hearth to feel like it's competing for anything. If anything, I want it to be a place where you come when you actually want the world to slow down for a few minutes, not to escape it, but to see if there's a little bit more clarity. I don't know who's listening to this today, but maybe you're in the middle of rebuilding something. Maybe you're questioning something you thought you had settled. Maybe life's gotten a bit quieter than it used to, and you're still trying to figure out what to do with that. Or maybe you're just curious enough to stick around for one conversation. Whatever brought you here, I'm glad you made enough time. I don't know exactly where Hearth goes from here, and honestly, that's a big part of why I'm excited to start. Some questions take years to answer, and some of them never got answered at all. And I'm started to find something genuinely comforting in that, because it's a reminder that growth isn't about how fast you solve yourself. Sometimes it's just about being willing to pay enough attention. If this becomes anything over the years, I hope it becomes somewhere people come back to because it feels familiar. Not because every episode sounds the same, but because they know they've left with something worth thinking about. Maybe a question, maybe a single sentence that always stays with them. And maybe just a few minutes of quiet in the world doesn't hand out that very often. And for now, I think that is enough. But this is my way of saying welcome to the channel/podcast.